But I've done a lot for our community. I give back. I haven't just taken. So I feel a real pride in saying I come from Mason City and live here.
You've talked about jobs and economic development a lot. Has there been anything else, the workings of city government-wise, that's been disappointing or that you'd like to see changed at all that really maybe is working against the citizens?
You know, and I don't want to pick anyone out in particular, because you know what, they're all people I know and I consider friends, and even tomorrow, no matter what happens, they're still my friends. And you know, I just think that city government needs to. I don't know what we need to do at this point, Bob, but I know that a better working relationship with the state is important. One of the things I do, you know, I know one of the things I disagree with, and I'm probably sticking my foot in my mouth, is I don't think that we should have asked IC Systems for that money back. I think that IC Systems is a big employer in our community. I think they would have continued to work to reach the goal. And I just think that was a negative thing to do to a company that does give back to our community. You know, a lot of wages in that. We need to find more positive reasons for people to want to come to Mason City and open their business. You know, and we need to work to get small businesses. You know, the government says that's the backbone of our communities, and I believe that. You know, you start with a small business and it grows to, you know, to be a larger company. Think of how many companies in Mason City have grown that way over the years. And I believe Mason City will survive. We've lost armors over the year, which we've gotten some of it back. But you know, Mason City didn't just blow away in the wind. We've always survived. We'll survive the Wholesome closing. You know, I think a lot of those guys have went out and got jobs. Maybe not the jobs that they want, but they've got jobs. Now we need to get some companies here that pay a decent wage and work hard to keep those people here. I think that's the key. I think, you know, as the new gentleman, he spoke to a group of us at a realtor meeting. Brent, I don't know his last name, from the EDC. Yeah, but he said retention is big, and you know, I never thought a whole lot about that. I've thought about it, but you know, I think retention of jobs is important. We need to keep the companies that are here, and we need to do what we have to do to keep them here. You know, I think, you know, I know there was controversy years ago when when we bonded to help Curry's. But just think where this community would be today if we hadn't done that and Curry's had pulled out of Mason City. So, you know, we need to, sometimes we have to stick our neck out. I mean, that's right.
The voters proved that.
Yep. We need to stick our neck out and do that.
I'm curious, with all the different things that you've done over the years, and we've talked a lot about that, was there any one thing that prompted you to run for city council now, where you just said, hey, I gotta get in?
You know, there's not one thing. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time, John. You know, I'm in a little better position that I can do it now. Just, you know, I'm looking toward retirement here in the next 5 or 6 years, and you know, I just, if I'm going to do it, I have to do it now. And you know, growing up in Mason City, I think everybody needs to get involved in our community and do things. You know, just paying taxes is not good enough. You need to get involved. I mean, and I think a lot of people do in a lot of different ways, because volunteerism in Mason City is huge. And you know, I just feel that this is another way for me to volunteer. I feel like I'm filling out a job application here, and people are going to judge that application, and they're either going to give me a job or they're not going to give me a job. And I can guarantee them that if I get the job, I'm not going to please everybody, but you know, I'm a real easy person to approach, and you know, they can bring their concerns to me. I'm going to listen, but I think common sense has to play into what we do in Mason City, and I think sometimes people are worried about getting reelected. I'm not worried about that. I'm not looking at that. I'm going to do what's right for Mason City, and in 4 years, if I should get elected, I don't really care if I get reelected. I just want to do what's right for Mason City. Sounds pretty grandiose, but it's just the truth. You know, it's what it is.
Absolutely.
Pretty. I think I'm good. Yeah.
As well.
Good.
Jen, you've been following the current council meetings and all that. Do you have any opinion on what's been going on lately with the council?
You know, they're all friends of mine, and I know that people things get heated and stuff. You know, I just like to see them work together better. I think I'd just like to see the bickering, just like everyone in Mason City would like to see the bickering done and over. And I know that's not an easy thing to do. I know that things get heated. I've been there, and you know, I understand that. But I think we just need to quit that and just work hard to make a better impression to the rest of the community and to North Iowa as a whole, because you know, that's how we're doing things today. It isn't just Mason City. We have to look at it at what's good for Clear Lake, what's good for Garner, what's good for Northwood. When they bring jobs to North Iowa, that's good for Mason City because those people come to Mason City and spend their money. They a lot of them live here. I would say that probably half of Garner's workforce at those different places probably come from Mason City. And the same thing with the casino, the same thing with you know, just about every business there are in North Iowa. You know, the people from Mason City go there and work and come back and spend their money.
You bet.
So we need to look at it as a whole.
Your ward would be in the northeast quadrant?
It would be Ward 1, yes.
Ward 1.
Northeast.
Is there any issues that you've identified up in the northeast corner then that stand out, that need attention, or anything in particular?
Nothing in particular, Matt. You know, you know, we just need to work to make our community a better place.
Okay, fantastic.
Once you're on the council, you're kind of all at large. I mean,
Right,
There's
yeah.
a zoning issue in some other part of town that you have to vote on.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's right. Yeah, and you need to, you know, I like I said before, we've had several different businesses that we've been involved in developing. As I explained to them before you came, Matt, is I've been real involved in developing things. I've developed the land out by Hy-Vee East out there where our old store used to be. We took a piece of land that no one else was going to develop. We spent a lot of money to fix it, bring development stuff into it and sell the lots off. We didn't do it to get rich. We made a little money. That's never been my idea. You know, money's nice, don't take me wrong. I like to make money. But, you know, our goal was to develop that out there to make it a better place. It enhanced my furniture store, my car wash when I owned it out there. And just you had more businesses out there, which has added huge to the tax base of Mason City because there's some nice buildings out there. You know, we've done some stuff out west. I was partner on the Tires Plus building that we developed and leased out. We owned where the Rent-A-Center is out there next to Lions's. So I mean, we've been involved. Every piece of property that we've ever owned, we've improved, whether it be where the Senior Citizen Center is now. I don't know if you remember, but that's where I started my furniture store. Okay. And we'd still be there today, except the building next door burned down. We had an electrical fire. The lightning hit it and burned that part of that building up that we couldn't redo it. And so we needed room to grow. But we left that neighborhood in a nice area. We tore that old building down. We fixed it up really nice, and then the senior citizens bought it. We cleaned up down below that. It used to be Builder Supply, and we cleaned that area up. We've sold it off too. We don't own any of that any longer. You know, every piece of property, if you look at what we own, we've made it better. We bought a lot of houses. We fixed them up in the north end, and we've sold them, made that a better place. You know, we've worked hard to do that. You know, and I've had partners on some things, and some things just my wife and I have done, and things I've done before my wife and I were married.
Great. I got one more question. Do you have any visions then for the future of Mason City? How you'd like to set the course? population gains, more business tax base? What?
I would love, that's a given. I'd love to see more people come to Mason City, but I think you're going to find that that's a challenge. We don't have the families we had today. When I was a kid, you had neighbors who had 5 or 6 kids in their family.
Right.
They aren't that big today. So I think that's a reason some of our numbers are down. It isn't just that people are moving away from Mason City. We definitely need industry to come to Mason City. We need to have a better working relationship with the state, the Department of Economics, because they're the people that send people our ways when they get people who want to come to a community. They're the first place they go, and from there we have to impress them, tell them what we can do. And yeah, we're going to have to give people things today. If you don't think that, we're not going to get the business to come to Mason City. I mean, it's just the way it is. Anywhere in the United States, they're giving them whatever it takes to get them to come to their community and open a business, and that's what it's going to take. I hate to say it, but it's what it is.
Absolutely. Maybe a per child tax credit. The state,
yeah,
$500 a month, a year or something.
One of the things I want to say too is my campaign's going to be a low-key campaign. I'm not going to be hammering on the radio. I'm not going to be hammering on TV. It's basically going to be, I'm going to go knock at doors, introduce myself. I think most people know me, but I want to go talk to them, just tell them what I'm thinking. Probably I'll have a postcard that I can stick in the door if they're not home. And it's, like I said, going to be low-keyed.
You've got some name recognition, do you feel, out there and all that, or you just...
Well, that could go good or bad, Matt. It's things you've been involved in. And
Sure.
That's one of the things I would mention is, I've been involved, and anytime you've been involved, some people are going to be happy with you, and some people aren't.
Mm-hmm.
But I think overall I've always been fair. I've been open-minded to listen to what people have to say, and I think I usually use common sense, and I think that's something that we need on the city council.